Hi, welcome back to the workshop. Today we are looking at the new Clark Railworks double O gauge Lowmac wagons. And Mike, these look incredible, don't they?
They really are fantastic new additions. So obviously we've seen how Clark Trains has started producing ready-to-run products in O gauge. He's done like the press flow wagons, done the Black 5, really quite high-profile vehicles for O gauge. But this is his first actual arrival in double O gauge, and it's literally the day he's announced it, it's in stock and ready to buy.
Absolutely, and of course, as people have said, it's been the best kept secret in the entire industry because we know that they're working on their quad arts and also their Dub D220, which look fantastic, but nobody expected these. Yeah. And there's 13 varieties over here in front of us as well, and detail is incredible.
It is, yeah. So we've got fantastic detail on these. We've got lots of separately fitted parts throughout the wagons. They've got a die-cast frame to them. They've got all the floor detail. They've got separate etch brass fittings for the lashing hooks as well. And they've really gone to town on these, both on top of the wagons and underneath for the underframe as well.
Actually, the thing about these little lashings for the wagons is you can actually position them as well, so you can actually physically tie something to them.
That's brilliant. So that's going to keep you occupied in the evenings and actually get the load fitted to these.
Now, the one thing I actually really do like about what design features they've put into the Lowmacs is, and I've actually been told they're doing this for all their double O gauge models moving forward, is that you can convert this very easily to not just EM gauge, but P4 as well.
Yeah, drop-in wheel sets, so you can, and actually this include a separate set of brake rigging to go underneath to suit those different gauge wheels as well. So as standard, it comes with a double O gauge brake rigging fittings underneath the axle, and then you can actually take those out, take the wheel sets out, put the new EM gauge or P4 ones in, and change the brake rigging at the same time to match those wheels.
Which is fantastic for any modelers who actually do want to actually model in either EM or P4. Yeah. Now, first of all, tell me, what were the Lowmacs actually used for?
Okay, so well, the Lowmac story, I think we have to go back to first, which goes right back to the 1890s with the Great Western Railway. And they basically needed a low-level wagon for transporting machinery vehicles, which is why they're called a Lowmac, low machinery truck. So that's what they were originally developed for. Different railway companies started then building different build types of them. And then in the late 1930s, this diagram was created by the LNER. And then it was then modified a few years later in the early 1940s to increase its weight carrying capacity. So increase its weight carrying capacity to 25 tonnes. Then these were then built by the LNER. They were used by the LNER and the LMS during the war years. And then after that, BR built another batch of these in the early 1950s to expand the fleet of Lowmacs to the same basic principles, but they had a different diagram number in the BR wagon series.
Wonderful. And basically, so these can be used from, say, the 1930s up until, what, the sort of 1980?
Yeah, well, actually, the last ones were actually taken off top stock in the 1990s. But long story short, originally when they were designed, like I said, they were designed to transport heavy machinery, big gear wheels, big cogs, big pieces of equipment. They used to move engine blocks. They could be used to move heavy vehicles, all those kind of things. Sometimes military vehicles were on them. And then as time moves on, that kind of traffic starts to diminish on the railway. And then they started being found to be useful for engineering purposes. So they could be used for transporting a digger to a site for working alongside the railway line. Or they were finding railway works where they could be used as vehicles to transport around engine blocks or equipment that's needed around a works. But that meant at the very end of their career, basically the last handful that were in existence were all in departmental service. And then since then, those remaining vehicles moved off into preservation as well, where some again have either been restored or rebuilt, or they're just used again like they were originally designed to hold something very large and heavy to keep it out of the way.
Yep, works trains, tractors, boilers, for example.
Yeah, this is like your railway version of a low loader lorry. You know, the deck goes down so you can get a bigger height object on it, so you can transport it within a given height restriction.
Well, that's definitely a rich history of the Lowmacs, but as far as the features of the model, what have they put into the design?
Okay, so you've got turned metal wheels like you'd expect on any ready-to-run modern goods wagon these days. But they've also, for a wagon which is a little bit unusual, they've actually got sprung buffers at all four corners as well. And they've got full NEM pockets, despite the very compact nature of the front end of one of these Lowmac wagons. And you get a set of tension lock couplings in the box. You can add those yourself to each wagon once you take it out of the box and get it set to couple into your freight train.
And of course, the other thing is you've got rubberized, essentially, brake pipes so that they don't accidentally break off.
Yes, that's right. So there's some really nice little detail features that they've put in there where they really thought about the end user modeler with these wagons as well, which does make a big difference, I think, with something like this. You know, they're a really nice looking wagon.
Absolutely. Now, as we said at the very beginning, they are available now. They came out of almost nowhere. But how much are they selling for, and where can you get them apart from through Clark Railworks?
Okay, so these are initially only available through Clark Railworks. They're priced at £40 per wagon, and you've got a big variety of different wagon liveries to choose from as well. So you've got everything from an early LNER and LMS, either bauxite or grey version, right through to a BR Satlink era. There's even a Dutch grey and yellow one as well. So you've got a whole different choice of eras there. You've got the BR ones in between. You've got different departmental BR steam era wagons as well. You've got some of the olive green ones from the early sort of later 1970s, 80s period. So there really is pretty much a Lowmac for everyone from the 1940s, when this particular diagram was introduced, right through until the present day in preservation.
Well, if you like the look of the Lowmacs and fancy one or two or even all 13 of these varieties for your double O gauge model, then the Clark Railworks Lowmac could very well be for you. You can read a full review written by Mike over here in HM209, our November edition of Hobby Magazine, and of course you can see much more on keymodelworld.com. In the meantime though, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.